Hey there. For week 4 discussion, option 1 says that we should respond with a video or written reflection of what we learned from the video that was recommended on differentiated instruction, and then consider different instructional strategies and how I could use them, how using them would allow me to address differentiation and inclusive practices. And I would like to start by the prompt about what barriers do you think you may face and how you would go about overcoming these concerns, specifically addressing students with disabilities. I am pursuing a single subject credentialing in music and in tending to teach theater as well. So that is a really, really good question. And I need to learn a lot more about that. There are a lot of physical disabilities that probably do not affect your ability to communicate through the performing arts, depending on what there are. Likewise, there's quite a few cognitive impairments or disabilities that also very much could not get in the way of any of it. Performing arts in general is probably like every subject. However, performing arts, theater, music, choir, there is the theoretical learning and then there is the practical application of it. And so this really made me think a lot about that. There are a lot of different ways to teach music theory and fundamentals of theater, objective direction, the mechanics of staging, enunciation, and all of those can be filtered through visual learning, auditory learning, share and pair exercises. There's so many different ways that the first year teacher in the video you had us watch, we could apply any of those exercises. Everything she was doing about doing a warm-up activity and then presenting the learning board, I feel like that's a basic template that we use for choir, band, and theater classes consistently. Now, the practical application for it, though, this prompt this week really blew my mind as far as learning gap for me as an academic instructor. If I have a concert choir and somebody isn't learning pitch, or somebody, there's a couple different ways to teach timing and rhythm. And if that isn't clicking, I'm a little bit limited on how I would address that in an equitable way. There are differentiated instruction options. However, I only know a couple. And so that's a good one. Same thing with the disabilities. There are certain aspects of the theater and music where if you can't hold the instrument or if you can't turn the page, then you'd have to resort to relying on their memorization capabilities or altering the format of the production, maybe to like a staged reading instead of a fully blocked play. That is, those are obstacles to be considered. I really liked in the video how she said that it's more important to make sure the children are understanding content than that you're moving through the content as far as like your pacing. And I do think that's priority. That's one of the things I like about educational performance is that my focus as the director, as the instructor, I feel should be on the process, not the product. And I think that's why a lot of good directors and conductors come out and address the audience before the show to highlight what we've been working on and where our focus has been before they receive and interpret and might have their own criticisms of the final product, that it's not really that's the culmination of where our learning is at right now. And that's something that I really appreciate about educational theater and performances versus professional ones. And same thing with the active listening. I think everything about the creative arts helps foster that ability, which then you can cross apply to a whole bunch of other fields of study. But this was a really good prompt for me to think about as far as my field and subject matter. So yeah, I would love to hear anyone's thoughts and ideas for me on what I've had to say. Have a great night. Thank you so much.